Welcome back to PixelQuest Gaming and our full playthrough of EarthBound. In this episode, we start off in Summers. We had just crash landed the Skyrunner, and this place is immediately different. I head straight to the shop, and everything here is ridiculously expensive. Like, this place is clearly meant for late game money. After that, we head over to the hotel, where we run into the photo guy, and he takes our photo. Then we head into the restaurant, where somehow I get another photo taken. I try to get into Club Stoic, but I'm not allowed in yet. So I head down to the docks, where everyone's talking about the Kraken and refusing to sail. I find a guy who gives me the number for Club Stoic and asks me to get his wife out of there. So I find a phone, make a reservation, and start heading back that way. So once in Club Stoic, I start talking to everybody. I find out that the one sailor's wife is selling magic cakes. Everybody's talking about them. So, of course, I have to try one. So I head over to her, talk to her, and she tells me to meet her down by the beach at her stand. So that's what I do. And that's when everything goes completely off the rails. The screen fades, and suddenly, I'm not myself anymore. And now I'm playing as Prince Phil. And this whole section feels completely different. I leave the palace, head down the mountain, picking up various items along the way, until I reach the place of nothingness. And this is where it gets intense. I sit there and just wait. Then I'm attacked. And one by one, I lose everything. My arms, my legs, my senses, even my mind. And then I wake up, and my training is complete. I return to the palace, and I'm told I'm destined to join a group with 2 boys and a girl. I teleport back to Summers, and now we finally have a full team. Now with a full party, we head into the museum in Summers and trade the tiny ruby that Phil had in his inventory to get into the locked room upstairs. Inside, we find hieroglyphs, and Phil translates them for us, pointing us towards Scaraba. But before we can even leave, we get a call telling us there's a new discovery at the Fourside Museum. So instead of heading to Scaraba, we teleport back to Fourside. The museum won't let us in unless we bring back an autograph from Venus. So we head to the theater, watch her performance, and grab her autograph backstage. She writes it on a banana peel, which is crazy. Once we bring it back, we're finally allowed inside, which leads straight into the sewers. Now, this section is rough, especially with Phil so underleveled. But we push through, grabbing items along the way until we hit the boss. The Plague Rat of Doom. And yeah, this fight was brutal. But we barely pull through and reach Magnet Hill and collect the 5th Sanctuary Sound. After that, we grab the Carrot Key and head back to Delam. At the base of the mountain, We use the carrot key and unlock the path to the next sanctuary. And this dungeon is even more difficult than the last. I really struggled through this one. After the struggle, we finally make it to the boss, Thunder and Storm. Thanks to the Franklin badge, this battle is way more manageable. After we finally take him down, we claim the 6th sanctuary location, Pink Cloud. We head back to Summers, down to the docks, and ask the sailor if he can take us out to sea, and he agrees. But halfway through, the ship is attacked by a kraken. We hit it with everything we got and managed to take it down. And finally, we arrive in Scaraba. Once in Scaraba, we stock up on gear again, which is way cheaper than in Summers. Then we head down to the Sphinx and another photo location. Using the code from the museum, we unlock the pyramid and make our way through. We make our way through, collect the Hawkeye, and make our way out on the other side of the river. But after leaving the pyramid, Phil gets taken away for more training, so we're back down to 3 again. We talk to the guy next to the pyramid, and we grab the dungeon key from him. And it turns out it's Brick Road. He actually succeeded in becoming a human dungeon. We make our way through his maze, which is honestly pretty frustrating. But once we reach the end, he decides to join us. So now we have this giant walking dungeon following us through the desert, which is pretty hilarious. And he is very strong. So we decide to do a little bit of leveling. Until he gets stuck in the trees and can't go any further. So we leave him behind and keep exploring. After exploring more of Scaraba, we find out the only way forward is through the swamp, using a submarine. So we head back to Dungeon Man, Brick Road, and he lets us use his submarine. We head on back up to the top of the dungeon, grab the sub, and head out towards Deep Darkness Swamp. And this place is exactly what it sounds like. Completely dark. There isn't only a small bit of it lit up. So we use the Hawkeye to light everything up and actually see where we're going. As we move through the swamp, we come across a crashed helicopter. Yeah, the same one Pokey stole earlier. From there, we keep pushing forward. Until we run into Master Barf. Not the most pleasant boss. These guys are truly disgusting. But we take him down and keep on moving. And that leads to Tenda Village. But there's a problem. Everyone here is too shy to even talk to us. The chief mentions a book that could help, but for now, we're stuck. Upon leaving, the Apple Kid calls us, saying he's finished a new invention, the Eraser. But mid-call, he gets kidnapped. Right after that, Orange Kid calls and confirms it. So we teleport back to Winters to try and figure things out. When we get there, things aren't exactly normal. Tony's also missing. So we cross the lake again with Tessie and head back to Dr. Andonet's lab. Inside the lab, the mouse tells us what happened and gives us the eraser. We head on up to Stonehenge for another photo opportunity and head in. And we use the eraser on the eraser stone blocking the path. And this is where things start getting serious. The difficulty in this area spikes hard. Enemies hit harder, the area is way larger, and it's clear we're getting into something important here. We push through the Stonehenge base, fighting enemies, leveling up, and grabbing whatever gear we can find. Eventually, we reach the end and take on the boss, Starman Deluxe. And honestly, he's not too bad. And once he goes down, the entire base shuts down. All the people trapped in the capsules are freed. And we regroup with the Apple Kid. He tells us that he returned the Book of Shyness to the library in Onett. So that's our next stop. We head all the way back to Onett, our hometown. And for some reason, I end up buying a rundown house for $7,000. Totally worth it. Then we grab the Book of Shyness from the library and head back to Tenda Village. Once we give the book to the chief, everything changes. The Tendas finally start opening up and talking. One of them even moves a massive boulder, revealing a path forward. We head underground, explore a bit, grab some items, and get a few more levels. We talk to a few rocks also along the way, until we reach the next sanctuary boss, the Electro Specter. But with the Franklin badge, his attacks aren't nearly as dangerous. We use Shield Killer, stay on the pressure, and take him down pretty cleanly. And that opens up a path to Lumen Hall. And this place is different. Our thoughts literally start appearing on the walls as we move through. But after that's finished, we collect our 7th sanctuary sound. We drop down into the lost underworld, and everything immediately feels different. The enemies are massive, and we're just tiny in comparison. I explore a bit, find some items, and eventually find a village. They let me in after I give them the Tenda Kraut and point me toward the final sanctuary, southwest. So we stop at the shop, gear up, and head out to the fire spring. The dungeon itself isn't too bad, so I take the chance to level up a bit. But the boss, that's a different story. It starts as Carbon Dog, but then he transforms into Diamond Dog, and this fight is brutal. The status effects, heavy damage, everything. I struggled here, but eventually we pull through. And just like that, we collect the final sanctuary sound. And then everything changes. It goes through this little cutscene showing me all 8 of the sanctuary sounds and plays this little clip of me as a baby. It explains that I was the chosen one, right from birth. And then we're taken into Magicant, inside Ness's mind. This place is surreal. Colors shifting, old memories, familiar faces. I even run into Flying Man, who helps me fight along the way. We make it to the Sea of Eden. We fight our way through not one, not two, but 3 krakens, and then we pull up to the Manny Manny statue, and we fight Kenny's nightmare. And this fight is intense because it's basically fighting myself. But we push through and finally win. And with that complete, we finally power up with all the powers of the Sound Stones. And this is cool. I gained so much strength here. It's like leveling up 20 times. It's crazy. And then we wake up and teleport to Saturn Village. We regroup and learn that the phase distorter needs a piece of the meteor to function properly. So we go grab it and start preparing for the final mission. After we're fully prepared, we enter the phase distorter. And at first, we're just waiting, looking around, not really sure what's about to happen. But then, another phase distorter shows up. Apple Kid and Dr. Andonuts arrive and explain what's going on. They tell us if we're gonna face Gigas, we have to go into the past. But there's a problem. We can't take our physical bodies with us. So the only option is to transfer our minds into robotic bodies. Yeah, so they put our minds into robots, and now we're even unsure if we can ever go home. But now that we're in the past in robot bodies, we just make our way through until we reach the end. Look at this thing. And of course, Pokey has to show up. So the end is Gigas and Pokey. And I'm telling you, Pokey is the real villain of this story. We focus on Pokey first. He leaves us alone to battle Gigas on our own. And this is where everything changes. Instead of just fighting, we pray. Alex calls out to friends, family, everyone we've ever met. And slowly, it starts to work. And finally, Gigas is defeated. We wake up back in the present. And everyone goes their separate ways. I take Alex back home. And then I return home myself. And just like that, our journey is over. If you made it all the way to the end of this EarthBound playthrough, seriously, thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like and subscribe. It really helps the channel grow. And if you want to see more, drop a comment and let me know what you want me to play next. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.